Good morning, everyone. I'm Nikki Stanzione.
I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico Style, and today, of course, is September 11th. And today marks 11 years, can you believe it, since the 9/11 attack on our country. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and Americans across the country are gathering to, of course, reflect and honor those who were lost. And we actually have a look at Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan right here.
Gosh, you know, and it's still a chilling feeling when you drive past there. And, you know, every day that you look at that skyline when you're in New York, having, you know, especially if you've grown up there, it's, you know, the skyline is forever scarred. You know, it's so, it's a different world now. But I love the fact that they're still reflecting on it. We never, ever will forget all of the people who lost their lives and all the people who fought for all of us. And for the first time today, no elected officials will actually speak at the ceremony at Ground Zero, only those who lost their loved ones. And these families will actually read the names of the nearly 3,000 people who died. So it will be a really special commemoration for them.
Yeah, so sad. I mean, it's still so emotional.
Still
Even 11 years later, I mean, that's not really that long ago, you know. A lot of people still going through a lot of devastation.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I'll be home this week. I would love to be able to try and go over there. You know, they are building the is it the Tower of Freedom they're working on, and it's really actually pretty amazing the progress they've made, and the Freedom Tower, excuse me. So, you know, I want to go over there. I'll try to take some pictures and show you guys from a first-hand account if I can.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Well, in Washington, President Obama observed a moment of silence at about 6:45 our time before attending a ceremony at the Pentagon.
Yes, and of course we'll have more details about today's events coming up in a few minutes. But first, let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez, who has this morning's headlines. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Good morning, ladies.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I want to start off real quick talking about some traffic issues going on right now. Two things you need to know. I-40 westbound at Louisiana, the center lane is closed, and I-25 at Jefferson, the left lane is closed right now. There are a couple accidents right now causing quite a bit of backup, so just heads up if you're headed out in the near future. Also this morning, police in Los Lunas are looking for a man who walked out of a cell at the police station there yesterday morning. Listen to what happened here. Investigators were talking with Zachary Green, who's accused of robbing two Walgreens. They say they put him in a holding cell. Well, apparently this guy just pushed the cell door open and walked out the back door of the police station. Turns out the cell's lock was broken.
We're hoping that the public will be able to give us information as to his whereabouts. That's how he was first sought after as a suspect, was through a tip.
Police had locked down an elementary school across the street from the station for quite a bit, but it was canceled once they spotted that Green had left the area. The New Mexico Finance Authority is keeping two top executives on administrative leave while the investigations continue over a fake financial audit. COO John Duff and former Comptroller Greg Campbell are accused of creating a fake audit to make the authority look like it was better off financially than it actually was. An outside consulting firm has been hired to look at how the agency has been running compared to other states. Now, those findings will then go before the Legislative Oversight Committee. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer Rick May, who's been suspended with pay, threatened the board with a lawsuit if he's fired before the investigation is over. John Duff is on unpaid suspension, facing fraud and other charges along with Greg Campbell. The DEA could be moving into your neighborhood soon, and it's all thanks to your cell phone. The Drug Enforcement Agency is setting up a new tip line here in New Mexico and across the country, hoping people text tips about drugs and drug dealers in their neighborhoods.
Agent will actually respond to them within 24 hours via text message, 100% anonymous.
Now, if you want to text the DEA, just use your cell phone and type in tip 411 and the keyword drugs. A judge is expected to make a ruling today on whether you, the Albuquerque voter, will get to vote on a proposed minimum wage hike in November. The city attorney is asking a judge to throw out the petition, though, because of a typo. The group Olay that's behind the proposal says the mistake should not mean the issue cannot get on the ballot. We'll, of course, keep you posted on what happens. Well, we told you how ticket prices for the Albuquerque Zoo went up last week. Well, now it looks like the price could be going back down. The City Council committee passed a bill that would lower ticket prices at the Albuquerque Zoo. You see, city administrators had raised tickets from $7 to $10 for adults, but city councilors never had a say in it. Well, now, Councilors Debbie O'Malley and Ken Sanchez want all of the councilors to discuss it. They have actually proposed an ordinance that would raise ticket prices to only $8 for adults and $3.50 for seniors and kids. The entire city council will take up the issue at its first meeting in October. And also, we told you yesterday how Hewlett-Packard's laying off even more workers than it originally said it would. Well, this morning, we still don't know what kind of an effect that will have on the company's service center right here in Rio Rancho. Back in May, HP said it was cutting 27,000 jobs in the next 2 years, including about 50 in Rio Rancho. Now, HP says it'll cut even 2,000 more jobs. The company has been struggling because more people are now buying smartphones and tablets and less computers. A violin is causing a lot of sour notes at one Farmington school. Camille Cruz goes to Tibbetts Middle School, and recently her teacher told her that her purple violin seen right here was a distraction in orchestra class and that she would have to rent another one, a more traditional looking one. Now, Cruz's mother is upset about the incident, saying it's like telling Slash that he has to use a guitar from Kmart, you know, Slash, the heavy metal rocker. The district says it's confident it can come up with an agreement that will make everyone happy. Lovely violin. I don't know, a little bit of controversy there. I know a lot of people have an opinion about this one. And one last thing I want to mention before I toss it back to Nikki and Kristen, Rascal Flatts. They were supposed to have a concert last Friday. It got canceled because of weather. Well, we just learned that they are not going to reschedule their concert here in Albuquerque. Instead, you're only going to be able to get a ticket refund. Sorry. Yeah, it's a bummer.
That is not fair. I love
right?
Rascal Flatts. Not that I had tickets, but...
Yeah. Thanks, Kristen.
Hey, I'm the messenger.
Blaming the messenger.
No, I know. I'm just teasing.
And by the way, if I ever played the violin, I can promise you I would go for that purple violin, if not pink.
Is it not gorgeous?
It really is. It's very Prince-like. I thought more of Prince than I thought of Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, right?
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Elizabeth. So, of course, getting back to a little more of a somber note, of course, as we reflect on today, we want to, talk about the fact that the 11th anniversary of the attack on America has us all reflecting and remembering the tragic terrorist attack that changed our lives forever.
Yeah, and Fox News correspondent Craig Boswell has more on the September 11th commemoration from New York.
New York, the nation, and the world pause to remember the victims of the 9/11 attacks 11 years ago.
11 years ago today, lives in the U.S. and around the world were forever changed.
Well, what came down, though? What came down? The crash. The other trade center's down. It's down. It's down.
Coordinated attacks were carried out by extremists who hijacked commercial airliners, crashing them into the Twin Towers and the Pentagon. A fourth crashed in a wooded area in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, after passengers attempted to regain control of the aircraft. Since then, the nation has pledged to never forget the lives lost. A museum remembering the victims at Ground Zero remains under construction. It was supposed to be open this month, but building plans all but ceased due to funding concerns.
We are going to complete the museum, which will give us a chance to tell the story of what really happened there in a very moving and thoughtful way.
Some say the completed World Trade Center site will be a fitting tribute.
I think the progress and the momentum at One World Trade Center and the entire World Trade Center site is a testimony to the region's resilience and resurgence.
There will be 6 moments of silence today, 4 for each plane and 2 for the towers that fell. At the World Trade Center site in New York, Craig Boswell, Fox News.
We were just talking about how it was a Tuesday when it happened, and of course it's a Tuesday today. We have an extra reflection on that. New Mexicans are remembering 9/11 as well. In fact, a beam that was once part of the World Trade Center in New York is actually right here in Albuquerque at the Sacred Heart Catholic Church.
And as News 13's David Romero reports, it may look like any other church on the outside, but it's what's inside that may bring the community together in a special mass to be celebrated tonight.
11 years ago, they stood as part of the World Trade Center towers. Today, they are the foundation of a bell tower in an Albuquerque church.
It means that we have a special privilege and particular opportunity to continue to pray for peace, freedom, the liberty that we need individually. So we keep that in mind whenever we celebrate, that we have that need for personal freedom.
Every year on the September 11th anniversary, a special Mass is held at Sacred Heart to remember the victims lost that day and the people still fighting for freedom.
We recognize that we are one aspect of the memorial, of the remembrance, but we recognize that it's been branching out to different areas in our community and nationwide, perhaps worldwide. We know that there are so many other military personnel that are remembering wherever they may be stationed, so we keep them in mind as well.
Unbelievable. I was there last year, and I actually took a look at it, and it really blows your mind, because you think, oh my gosh, that was really there. That was part of that building when it existed. And you know, so many things, as we mentioned, going on around town, and we want to tell you guys that the 10th Annual Albuquerque Fire Department Firefighter 9/11 Stair Climb is actually going to be scheduled for 9:15 this morning right here at the Bank of America Albuquerque building.
Right. A group of firefighters will be wearing full bunker gear and will climb 110 stories, the same height as the Twin Towers. The Bank of America building, though, is 22 stories high, so they'll have to climb it 5 times to reach 110 stories.
Excuse me, Bank of Albuquerque building. I keep saying Bank of America, but it's actually Bank of Albuquerque building. And you know, it's kind of going to be it's one of those things where it's like they're doing something to repeat a moment, and I'm sure it's going to really make people feel, you know, very nostalgic about something that is so, it's going to be a bittersweet moment, I feel like. And the firefighters are actually going to be dispatched from Station 5 at 9:03 a.m., which is when the second tower was hit, and will respond to the BOA building to begin the climb.
Right, and of course, you know, they've been doing this for 10 years, and the climb has been a way to honor the 343 firefighters that died in the line of duty on September 11th, 2001. AFD actually was the first department in the nation to organize and complete the climb.
Right. And the climb is now being held in 76 American cities, and not only that, but the world is celebrating, because 7 other countries, including Australia, Canada, France, Great Britain, Kuwait, and New Zealand, are also going to take part in a climb. So I really appreciate that they're doing something special to reflect on what we've gone through as Americans. Now, on a happier note, of course, we don't forget today, but let's change it up a little bit. Hundreds of dogs found homes after an adoption event in Albuquerque this weekend. That's wonderful news. And now the city wants to make sure that those homes are permanent.
You know, severe overcrowding at the shelter prompted the city to waive the adoption fee over the weekend, and as a result, 374 dogs were adopted. The shelter and volunteers have teamed up with Petco to follow up with the new families within the next 2 months to make sure the dogs are doing okay. So I like that. They're going to go back in and kind of check up and make sure you know, the dog is happy, family's happy with pet, dog, cat, whatever it may be.
I'm so happy to hear that. That's so good. And another place actually to adopt a new furry friend in Albuquerque got a big facelift. How do you like this? The Lucky Paws shelter at Coronado Center is open again after undergoing an $18,000 renovation.
Right. The 8-day project included cleaning, repairing kennels, and installing new laminated counters and benches. The renovation was paid for by Save Lucky Paws, a local nonprofit.
Oh, I love that. Look at the faces. They're so cute.
They all get a good home.
Absolutely, and at least in the meantime, they have a great place to stay now with that with the renovation. That's wonderful.
Right.
Okay, so we go crazy for pets, we go crazy for kids, and kids go crazy for Nabisco's new Oreo cookie.
Right, Kraft is introducing its famous wafer cookie in a candy corn flavor. Ahead of the Halloween season, the cookies will be available exclusively at Target stores. So if you want some, that's where you got to go to get it.
Those are going to be so sugary. That's the thing. Candy corn, it's so sweet. I
can't do it.
I
You know
can't
what
do
it tastes
it.
like to me?
What?
It tastes like butter and sugar.
Yes.
Stuck together.
Yes. That's exactly what I thought.
Gross.
It's gross.
My family, they go crazy over it. There's always, like, everywhere I go, my families, you know, there's candy corn jars.
Yeah.
Candy corn. I don't even like it.
Lesson of the day, if Kristen or I come trick-or-treating at your house, do not give us candy corn. Okay, but the kids might like those Oreos. And if your kids need a little off the top, why not skip the barber and go to JCPenney's? Because every Sunday in November, JCPenney will be giving free haircuts for kids. How great is that?
Yeah, the store says 1.6 million children got free haircuts last month, so they say they're going to continue the program.
That's nice. That's nice, because when you think about it, you know, those are the kind of expenses you can't do anything about. You know, you can cut back in some areas, but look, you got to cut your kids' hair. You got to keep them clean and maintained, and so it's nice to know that you can afford it by getting a free haircut.
Right, and they're obviously hoping that you'll do some shopping afterwards.
Exactly.
But you don't have to. You can just go for the free cut and head on out.
Exactly. No purchase necessary. And if your kids are already writing their letters to Santa, take a look at this. Toys R Us is now selling a tablet designed just for the little ones.
The Tabio features a 7-inch screen, a Wi-Fi connection, and 50 preloaded kid-friendly apps, and it's priced at just under $150.
That's
So
great.
Not too bad.
As long as it's less than that, yeah. Now, the
Right.
Tabio is available for pre-order now and will be in Toys R Us stores starting October 21st.
Oh, boy. Don't you just get a headache thinking about all of those? Okay, so the hot toy
Holidays.
for the kids over the holidays, and they all sell out so fast, and you're
Always.
scrambling to try to get them. I wonder if that's going to be one of them this year.
Mine was the Cabbage
Do it
Patch
early.
Kid, just to date myself. That was what my mom scrambled to get me. I had it. Do you remember Cabbage Patch Kids?
Yeah, I do.
Well, this year I'm going to have to buy baby presents now that I
Yes,
have a
you
niece.
do.
I have to spoil her a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something else that is going on around town I thought would be
Right.
really great that we should mention to you guys is that Hollywood A-listers Jennifer Aniston and Jason Sudeikis begin shooting the movie we were telling you about called We're the Millers. That's happening in Albuquerque and Santa Fe next week, and on location casting is going to cast paid extras and no previous experience is required.
Right. So I could go up there and do it.
Do it!
We're the Millers is about a drug dealer who decides that he wants out of the business, but not before doing one more job, of course.
Yes, of
which
course,
forces
just
him to
one more.
travel to Mexico and create a make-believe family in order to bring 1,400 pounds of marijuana into the U.S.
Can't you hear Jennifer like, oh God, please don't bring the drugs. The drugs are just not a good thing. Don't do it. You know, that's what she does that in every character. I can't help myself. I have to always do my impression of Jennifer Aniston. Now, on location casting sent us a list of extras. Okay, this is what they want. Producers are looking for photo doubles for Jennifer, also for Jason, and for some of the other lead actors. They want U.S. and Mexican border patrol types with military or law enforcement experience. They also want pilots, flight attendants, airline passengers, and DTSA agents. The TSA agents, which I'm going to have to deal with tomorrow at the airport. Love those.
Right, and they also need extras with campers, trucks, SUVs, and cars that are not red, white, or black,
Right.
as well as Mexican children, including boys who play soccer, Mexican henchmen, and also Mexican peasant women.
And what's a good movie without the hot chicks? You can't forget about them. We need some really pretty young women, ages 20 to 30. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go,
All right.
Kristen.
Really
Now,
like that one.
to be considered for extra work, just visit onlocationcasting.net and complete a talent application. Please make sure you upload 1 to 2 photos to your talent profile. They do need to see a photo of yourself.
Right. So get
Too
on
much
it.
fun.
Hey, make some fun, make some money, and
Make
maybe
some
have a
money.
little fun too.
And there's always good food on those sets too. Now, music icon, we've been talking about her, Britney Spears, settles into her judge's seat on the X Factor. And the pop princess's surprising tough love may be giving designated bad guy and fellow judge Simon Cowell a run for his money.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Fox's Adam Housley has the story.
The X Factor is back for season 2 with Demi Lovato and Britney Spears joining L.A. Reid and Simon Cowell at the judges' table.
I always know that on the first day, whoever we hire, within 2 or 3 hours, there's going to be a, what the hell have I done? Everyone goes through it, right? So it's like, okay, 1 hour away from that.
You can't destroy that song, sweetie.
Promos for the show have offered glimpses of Judge Britney crushing the hopes and dreams of some contestants during the early auditions.
You were like a duck to water.
No, it was hard for me at first, it really was. And then you gradually get used to it. So.
It's hard because they all boo you.
I want to know who let you on stage.
You've got to have that good gut instinct. And importantly, straight away, both of them were very happy to say no to people. In fact, I actually came over as the softie. I was saying yes to people, and they're like looking at me like, these people are never going to be stars. And I kind of, yeah, you got a point.
So what is Spears looking for now that she's settled into her new role?
I think it's of the package, you know. I want them to be able to perform. I want them to feel alive on stage. And of course, their voice has to be amazing as well.
I've got a very, very good feeling about you.
Simon believes he's already found one future star.
I've already seen someone actually in my category, and I'm not going to say which category it is, who I would sign on the spot tomorrow. And I see a massive, massive gap in the market for that artist right now. I can feel it. I really can.
Judge for yourself on the 2-night premiere of The X Factor, which kicks off Wednesday on Fox. In Hollywood, Adam Housley, Fox News.
Watch
so excited.
out. Brittany, not so southern and sweet when
Right?
she's at the judges' table, is she?
No, she's going to be a tough cookie. I am so excited. I love the show. I watched The Voice last night. I'll be watching So You Think You Can Dance finale tonight. I'll have my mom DVR The X Factor tomorrow night. It's reality TV overload. But I'll tell you what, when you get to watch reality TV and you watch people showcase talent, then it's not so bad. Believe me, it's a nice opportunity to see people.
You're going to have that baby up by the television like, listen,
I know.
honey, I'm going to be the next star.
I'm going to teach her to get on one of these shows and be the next star. I'll vote for her. Now, I also vote for good weather. With traveling tomorrow and also just being around town today, what's the scoop?
Well, we're going to be looking at another pretty nice day. It'll be a little warmer today, and we'll have to watch for maybe a shower later on, but for the most part, a really nice looking day today.